Alright, and hello everybody, I'm the Super27 and welcome to another Dokkan Battle video. Today we are in the EZA event for STR Super Vegeta, who, if I am not mistaken, is the most modern EZA TUR. I think he came out after Kefla. So we also have two other sub-EZAs we have to talk about today. We have the sub-EZA Cell Jr., as well as the sub-EZA Android 16. So, the footage you'll be seeing today will be us fighting Vegeta. He is weak to Extreme Tech, Int, STR, or AGL that are also part of the Android/Cell Saga category team. So this is what we are running today. So let's go ahead and get diving into these details. So up first, we have the Cell Junior Army, little thing here. They lead Artificial Life Forms, 3 key and 130 to stats. Again, that's very standard for like a sub-EZA sort of thing. They raise attack and defense for 1 turn on their super attack. They cause supreme damage to the enemy, and they lower attack and defense. Lowering attack and defense is extremely good. Getting 30% to stats is not terrible. Supreme is kind of low, though. For their passive skill, they get 150% attack and defense at the start of turn. They get an additional 30% attack and defense, and chance to dodge plus 10% per artificial life form category ally on the team. Oh. Okay, so if you're running them on Artificial Life Form, they are UI Goku. They have 70% chance to dodge, and 210% extra stat. Wow. Plus 150 at the start of turn. Okay, so far they're already looking really good. Artificial Life Form category allies get 3 key and 30% attack and defense. Alright, so if you basically have to run them on that one team. Okay. They launch an additional attack with a 50% chance of being a super attack. That's very good. They launch an additional super attack and randomly change a certain type of key sphere, AGL, and Int excluded to Rainbow when you have a Cell Perfect or Perfect Cell in the attacking turn. Okay, that's not as good as I thought it was going to be. Because who's the best Cell right now? Is Int Cell still? I mean, I like Incel. I think Incel is better than a lot of people give him credit for, because he's kind of like a pseudo-revive character, but I don't know how well he would perform in the 9th anniversary stuff. But Cell Juniors are actually kind of broken. They're going to have a lot of stats, so they should be able to eat a super attack post-super, especially since they're debuffing and raising their own stats, because there are a myriad of difficult events that are coming up in the future that can be debuffed, both their defense and their offense, so that's something that like you need to kind of like look out for. And 70% chance to dodge, I mean, that's obviously good. And they're giving support, 3 key, 30%. Yeah, no, these guys are good. And there is that one super difficult Artificial Life Form mission against Beast Gohan. These guys are going to help carry everybody through that, like global players. Like, this is actually a huge buff, because like everyone has this guy. Like, I have enough copies to rainbow a TUR of him, so he's just been on, like, every banner, so that's good. And he doesn't necessarily need this last part of his passive. An additional super changes key spheres, so he's rainbow key changing if you have a Cell. So is he going to be a lot better next to a Cell? Yes, but primarily he's just 70% chance to dodge, support, and debuffing. You don't need the rainbow orb changing, but that is super nice if you're able to get that to activate. Alright, that's actually a pretty good start to the video. They're not bad at all. Then for their link sets, they have Attack of the Clones. I don't even know what that does. Brutal Beatdown, Nightmare, The Innocence, Cowards, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle. Okay, never mind. They have a awful link set. What is Attack of the Clones? What is this link even? Oh, it's a Cell link. Okay, interesting. And it gives 2 key and 5% dodge. Okay. Innocence and Coward is odd. You know, he's going to link well with, like, Android 16 characters because of Innocence and Brutal... Well, no, I don't think Android 16 has Brutal Beatdown. Never mind. I know, like, First Form Cell has Coward. Nightmare, I think all the Cells have. So, I mean, he has a lot of attack links. Shocking Speed is nice to give him some key since he doesn't have key at the start of turn. Coward does too, and so does Attack of the Clones, but I don't know how common you're going to get those. But he does have some decent, like, links. Because, like, Brutal Beatdown, that's a good villain link. You're going to be able to make a lot of villains stronger. Even though you don't get, like, any defense or any key or anything, just an extra 15% attack can be nice in some situations. Same kind of goes for Nightmare. Nightmare is just an extra buff offensively. It would have been kind of nice if these guys had tough as nails instead of like innocence or coward, but I understand why they wouldn't get that. And then lastly, they have just a few categories: androids, artificial life form, Cell Saga, and then tournament participants. So that's good. See, this is a character who, like, they are restricted to artificial life forms, but that doesn't matter because they're only on 4 categories. It's not like they are the physical Rosé who's on a billion categories but can only be run on super bosses if you want him to be good. So that is how you treat a character like this. Alright, Cell Juniors, they get the Sweet Bros stamp of approval. These guys are actually, like, kind of busted, and I will be very excited to see what they're able to do. The only problem is, right now, artificial life forms on global isn't very good, but once we get, like, the Super Boo EZA, then things are going to kind of change. And, like, as well with, like, the LR Gammas. Because right now we have, like, Gamma 1, maybe Gamma 2, I guess Metal Cooler is still decent in today's meta, but yeah. Not the best options in the multiverse. Alright, up next, we have Android 16, who leads Android/Cell Saga 3 key, 130 to stats. His super tech effect, he greatly raises defense for 1 turn, supreme damage to the enemy, and massively lowers defense. Again, massively lowering is good. That's just giving the entire rotation basically 100% offense against an enemy that can be debuffed. Alright, for his passive, 2 key and 160 to stats. Okay, he has guard. Good. He gets an additional 80% attack and defense when attacking. He has a high chance to perform a crit within the same turn after receiving an attack. Alright, they want you to put him in slot 1. He has 16% damage reduction whenever guard is activated, up to 46%. Is that per hit or per turn? I think that's worded the way 23rd World Tournament Goku is. 16% damage reduction whenever guard is activated. Yeah, I would assume that's per hit. So he gets hit 3 times, and he has basically 50% damage reduction. Plus guard, okay. He has an additional 80% attack and 160% defense, and all allies 3 key and 58% attack and defense when you have a Super Saiyan Gohan Youth or Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Youth attacking the same turn. Alright. And the best SSJ2 Gohan we have is the TUR, or the LR. So both of these characters want to be run with their respective LRs, because these are the side banner units for both of those LRs that EZA'd at the start of last year. I would say Cell has probably aged a little bit more gracefully than Gohan, because Gohan, like, turn 1, he is like, yes, he has guard, but he has, like, 160k defense. Well, at least Cell, he has that utility of having basically a full heal, and then he kind of goes God mode after that. So, I don't know how... But, like, the thing is, though, Super Saiyan Gohan and Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, those are, like, pretty much tied with Namek Goku for being the most iconic things in all of Dragon Ball. So it's only a matter of time before we get another relevant one of them. I don't know how long it'll be before we get another Cell. I mean, maybe at some point. But, like, Gohan is more common, I feel sure. So that part of his passive will be able to proc more easily. I think this is a more future-proofed thing. And it just seems way better, because the Cell Juniors were launching an additional, and they were double orb changing, which is good, but this guy is getting 80% attack, 160% defense, so he's going to be basically unkillable, and he's giving 3 key and 58% support. So he's giving better support too, you just have to have a Gohan on rotation. And he's going to be, like, incredibly tanky, so hold on, he's like a really, really good slot 1 option. So, he's greatly raising defense on super, so that's 50%. After he gets hit, he has a 50% chance to crit. He gets hit 3 times. He's fully built up. 50% damage reduction, guard. 160% defense there. A 50% on super. Yeah, I think he might be, like, actually, like, really freaking good. Now, before he supers, maybe he could eat a super for, like, a fair bit of damage. Because he's only getting 160 at the start of turn. And then he has his guard, right? And then, so, like, 160k defense plus guard plus 58% damage reduction. That's, like, good, but not necessarily, like, a lot. But once he supers, that's an extra 50% on super attack effect and an extra 80 from his passive. So I think he should be able to take normals in slot 1 very well, and he will probably be able to eat super attacks, but like take a lot of damage. But if he supers in slot 1, I don't see this guy taking damage, really. Again, 50% there, 160 there, 80 there. He has guard, basically 50% damage reduction, and he could get an extra 160 if you have a Gohan on rotation. Which right now, this is probably not doable. Because I know, like, the LR, he does debuff on his super attacks, and he does stack. But, like, bosses just out the gate are hitting really hard, and then, like, deep into fights, like, Gogeta Blue launches 3 million. And I know he has type advantage, and he would be having guard, and he's stacking his defense, but there's no way you're getting a high enough defense so that that Gohan is going to be able to tank at all, I don't think. So, yeah, no, both of these sub-EZAs are actually, like, really freaking good. They absolutely cooked. I'm very interested to see how good this guy is going to do, because I feel like he has the potential to be nearly a perfect slot 1 unit. Also, this guy, he's also an artificial life form. I glanced down real quick. So this is another buff to artificial life forms for a global player. So that mission that, like, Truth struggled on for forever, the Suffering or whatever you called it. Also, I'm so mad about the Suffering series. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter, but on Twitter, if he didn't beat it, the episode that he did, he was going to do face cam and act like there wasn't a gimmick. Oh, I was so pissed. Dude, I'm praying on STR Kid Boo's downfall after that. But 16, the Link set. He has Android Assault, Mechanical Menaces, Gentleman, Toughest Nails. See, he has Toughest Nails. Infinite Energy, Solid Support, and Fierce Battle. So he has a very Android-focused. So Android Assault, that's 20% defense. He's getting 5% damage reduction for Mechanical Menaces. Gentleman is a perfect cell. Like, the only cells I think that have this is the physical LR, I think, because I don't even think the Int LR has Gentleman. Toughest Nails, yeah, I can see that. Infinite Energy is 5% attack and defense and crit, which is good. Solid Support is debuffing, which is also good in Fierce Battle. Okay, so he has a weird Link set. Because he wants to pretty much be run with other androids. And, I mean, Toughest Nails is nice, but I don't think any other androids have Toughest Nails. I think that's, like, a 16 thing. So, is he going to be good in slot 1, but, like... Oh, wait, Tournament Participants. Tournament Participants. He's on Tournament Participants. You could theoretically run him with the 17 and 18, and you would be able to get a lot of those links activated, because they are Sibling Bond and Tournament Participant. So, that could be... I don't personally have that unit in my box, but that could be a rotation. Because you could have, like... AGL UI on one rotation, this guy in the other rotation, both slot 1. You could do some stuff with that. That's interesting, because those guys, they can't go into slot 1. This guy would be able to go into slot 1, and he, with all these links, he would get activated. Like, he wouldn't have, like, Twin Terror, because that's a link they have. But he has Infinite Energy with them. I believe they have Mechanical Menaces and Android Assault. I mean, I guess I could check real quick. Let's see. Actually, no, they don't have Mechanical Menaces. That is a Dr. Wheelo, Rildo, and a Raleigh link. What the hell? Sure, I mean, they surely have Android Assault, right? Like, I'm not just making that up. Let's see. Yeah, they do have Android Assault, and I know they have Infinite Energy, so you could get some links with them. Okay, interesting, interesting. So maybe that might be his best team, Tournament Participants. And then for his categories, he has Android, Artificial Life Form, Android Cell Saga, Revenge. Ooh, that's a big Revenge buff. Powerful Comeback, and Tournament Participants. Alright, and now lastly, the moment you've all been waiting for, Super Vegeta. Now, this is another character who I don't have in my box. So if this guy is, like, good enough, I am more than willing to buy him with red coins. I have, like, 800-something red coins, I believe, and he should only cost 400. So it's not like I would be breaking the bank to get this guy. So he leads Mastered Evolution or Pure Saiyans 3 key and 170 to stats. On his super attack effect, he raises defense for 1 turn, immense damage to the enemy, and then all attacks are crits. So yeah, this guy is going to do a crazy amount of damage, having guaranteed crits. So he has 2 key and 200% attack and defense at the start of turn. Very good. Guards all attacks for 5 turns from his first appearance. Alright, so he's going to be good against, like, Fusion Zamasu. Okay. He gets an additional 100% attack and defense when performing a super attack. Okay, that's good. He gets an additional 50% attack and defense with each super attack performed up to 100. He gets an additional 50% attack and defense within the same turn after receiving an attack. He gets an additional 50% attack and defense. Guards all attacks within the same turn after receiving an attack. Launches an additional super attack when there's a character whose name includes Cell. Cell max excluded. Stuns the enemy hit with super attack. What? He gets 50% attack and defense, guards all attacks within the same turn after receiving an attack, and he launches an additional super when there's an enemy whose name includes Cell, not Cell max, and he stuns. Am I missing something? 200 stats at the start of turn. He guards for 5 turns. Like, the guarding for 5 turns is good, but, like, 9th anniversary stuff, that's going to be running out. Like, he's going to be good for the global meta right now. I mean, maybe not so much against Omega. I would have to see maybe how high his defense can get up to. But, I mean, he has a lot of stats. Does he not have any additionals in his passive? Hold on. When performing a super attack, he gets an additional 50 with each super attack performed, plus an additional 50% within the same turn after receiving an attack. Yeah, he has no additionals in his passive. Unless you're going up against a Cell. Huh. I guess they didn't want to do that because he has guaranteed crits, but like... Okay, hold on. Maybe... Okay, hold on. Let's read the active skill. I might be being a bit too rough. Right now, I mean, I think he's just fine. He's going to do a lot of damage, but like... You're going to be relying on your hidden potential system for additionals. Okay. So his active skill is I am Super Vegeta. He gets 5 ki, 50% attack for 1 turn. 5 ki... I mean, he does only have 2 ki at the start of turn. Okay, so I guess that can maybe be relevant. Can be activated when HP is 50% or more starting from the 5th turn from start of battle, or after the character receives an attack 1 or more times when there's an enemy whose name includes Cell. Okay, so most of the time it's going to be turn 5, 50% HP or more. And you get 50% attack and 5 ki for 1 turn. Okay, well, hold on. Let's see how many defense. So he's getting 200% defense at the start of turn. We're going to ignore guard. We're going to say this is his 6th turn. 200 guard, 200% defense, 100% when performing a super attack. He gets 30% on his super attack effect. He gets 50% defense after, or 100% defense after he performs 2 super attacks, so that's 100. And he gets an extra 50 within the same turn after receiving an attack. They want you to put him into slot 1. Yeah, because he gets an extra 50% attack as well. He's not good enough to go into slot 1 deep in events. Okay, so, again, that's 200, then 300, okay, 330, 430, 480. So he's getting 480% defense when he's fully built up after launching a super attack. I mean, that with guard is good. But is the guard still going to be activated when you're going up against, like, Gogeta Blue? I mean, maybe, with how powerful... But again, he doesn't have crits. I don't understand why this guy doesn't have additionals built into his passive. Because, that, like, his whole, like, thing is doing a ton of damage. And, like, he also has a stun as well. So, like, he'll also... Okay, I will say this. He will be good against, like, the Red Zone Cell Max event, the STR one. Because once you get that guy down to like 1/3 of his HP bar, he can be stunned and sealed. So you can keep him stun locked with this guy. And, okay, let's look at his links. Super Saiyans, Royal Lineage, Prodigy, Sand Pride, Golden Warrior, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle. He has a good Vegeta Sand link. He'll link well with the DFE that we got this year. And then for his categories, Pure Saiyans, Full Power, Vegeta Family, Super Saiyans, Worthy Rival, Android Size Cell Saga, Rapid Growth, Gifted Warriors, Heavenly Events, Mastered Evolution, and Power Beyond Super Saiyan. I mean, he's on a lot of teams. Is he an extreme class? I feel like that is something I need to know. Hold on. Are you technically an extreme class, or are you a super class? I would assume at this point in the series, you would be an extreme class. I could be wrong, though. Let's see. The wiki's taking a second to load. Yeah, yeah, you're a super STR. That's interesting that at this point in the series, Super Vegeta is... Okay. So... He has a lot of stats, but... Stats... I mean, just a lot of stats aren't going to help you tank Gogeta super. Could he eat normals, though? Probably? Because 200 at the start of turn, and he gets an extra 100 after he does all of his... Well, actually, maybe not. He might not be able to tank normals. 200, and then 100. And then he gets an extra 50 after he gets hit once. He gets an extra 30 on super attack, and then he gets an extra 100 in his passive. So, I know Gogeta can launch an AoE, but I think that's not the AG or the STR phase. I think that's the tech phase, the Super Saiyan phase. I could be wrong, but I know that there is an AoE. So if you got tagged by an AoE, this guy would take a ton of damage before he supered. But other than that, I mean, I really think I'm missing something here. I feel like they just gave him, like, launch as an additional with even a 30% chance to be a super, I would be singing a different tune. Because guaranteed crits is massive, right? And, like, we've seen it on other characters, like, Kale is one of my favorite DFEs. When she's in her transformed state, with each super attack she does, she gets like a 30% chance to crit. So if she launches 3 super attacks, then she's guaranteed critting. But along the way, she has a 30, then a 60, and then a 100, basically. So, like, can she get up to a guaranteed crit? Yes, she has to work for it. But all of those attacks at least have a chance. If you're only launching 1 crit, how much attack are you getting? 200 at the start of turn, an extra 100% on super attack, an extra 50 with each attack performance up to 100, and then an extra 50 if you've been hit first. So it's literally the exact same. You're just losing out on the 30% on super attack effect. So you're getting 400% attack plus a crit. So I feel like you do have to, like, go full addition. Like, I normally go, like, full dodge and then I funnel the rest into additional. I would say for this guy, you have to go full additional and funnel the rest into dodge. Because, I mean, I don't see this guy... Because if you're running him, you're not going to run him for his defensive ability. You're running him for his offensive power. He's actually kind of like, Blue Kaioken, Spirit Bomb Goku, where he has guard for the first couple of turns to help you, like, get settled in so that you can destroy a boss later on, except he doesn't have the devastating Super Spirit Bomb. He just gets an extra 50% attack, which will be relevant. Like, on that one turn, I feel like if you could get some additionals off of him. Also, why is his restriction not including Cell Max? Why did they make that decision? I feel like that's a dumb decision, because Cell Max is, like, the, like, 3rd hardest fight or something right now. I mean, he's still going to be good for it, because, again, he does have that guaranteed stun. And the guard for the first couple... Because that's a fight where it's just one big health bar, and you whittle it down. It's not like you're going from phase to phase to phase to phase to phase. So he will be good in that, and he's going to be good against Fusion Zamasu. He might be good against Omega, but Omega, again, I don't know how he's going to do against AoEs once the guard goes away. I think he's just fine. You know, like, is he good as Kefla? Absolutely not. Kefla absolutely shit stomps on this guy. I would even argue that Dragon Fist probably shit stomps on him, because Dragon Fist, for his first turn, he's also guaranteed critting. But he has the really high chance to dodge before super attack, so he's going to do a better job against AoEs early on. He's giving support. This guy's not giving support anywhere. He's just pure raw stats and damage. So I honestly think Dragon Fist might be better than him. Do I say that the 2 sub-EZAs are better than Super Vegeta? I might go as far as to say that, just because of the meta. Because Cell Jr. right now, Artificial Life Form is a dead category. Yeah, sure. But this is a huge buff, because they now have a UI Goku. So if you're ever in a sticky situation where you have no slot 1 units, you technically have Cell Jr. 70% of the time you'll live. Plus he's giving support. Then you have 16. 16 is like a really good slot 1 option. Again, 16 seems like, yeah, 16's way, because I'm a fan of kind of shitting on guard. Because I understand guard is really good, but, like, guard by itself necessarily isn't enough. We've seen it time and time again where just having guard, characters can still get cooked. Great Ape, Vegeta from the 7 year, he was an example. He had guard, he would still get cooked defensively all the time. Early on into fights, characters like 23rd World Tournament Goku, God Goku, all these characters who just have guard as a mechanic, they take a lot at the start of the fight before they can get built up. And, like, this guy just having guard with nothing else. I mean, again, he does have a lot of defense. So, like, early on in the fight, that guard is going to be cooking. But when it runs away, what are you left with? You're just left with a character who will do a ton of damage. But, like, almost every character in the game can do a ton of damage. We shall see. We shall see. Again, I don't have this character, so I can't necessarily playtest him myself. I'll just have to watch some showcases or something. But I don't even think I want to spend the 400 red coins to get him. Especially not at 55%, where I can't funnel any additional into him outside of just a bronze and silver equip. Yeah. So I think that is my synopsis of the characters. But that is going to be all for this time, guys. I have been the Sweeper27. I'm a variety Twitch streamer and an up-and-coming YouTuber trying to make it big in the world. I have a Twitter, a Twitch, a TikTok, and a YouTube, the links to which can all be found in the description of this video. And while you're down there, don't forget to like, subscribe, share me around, and leave me a comment, positive, negative, or indifferent. I love just any sort of interaction I can get from you guys. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think of all these characters? Do you think I overrated them, underrated them? Because I really do think those sub-EZAs are going to cook, especially in that Beast Gohan event. That is going to be a huge buff for global players. And I don't know, I think Super Vegeta, like, I just think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be good for our meta, but 9th anniversary, I don't know how well he's going to keep up. But yeah, let me know what you think about all these characters. Let me know if you think I'm way off or whatever. But that's going to be all for now. So as always, I've been the Sweet Bro 27, and I am signing off.